Sharon, I was expecting you. We're filming today. You haven't turned up. Like, what's going on?
Hey Tej, how are you? Sorry I couldn't make it today. I'm actually en route to Bradford to locate the Untouchables camp. However, I have left you with a very special member of the team and I'll speak to you later. Take care, bye.
Heavy. Welcome.
Hi guys.
Yo, firstly, Heavy, look, thank you so much for coming down. Like,
You're welcome.
I know you're a busy guy, right? And we'll talk about all that in a minute because there's a lot to talk about.
Right.
But obviously, the main reason we kind of brought you down is we're trying to piece together the Untouchables era. We're trying to piece together how the Untouchables team came about, how all the different artists came about, their stories, their journeys, and of course, look, we're celebrating the life of Cully. You know, It's been 10 years since, unfortunately passed away. And we want to talk about that. But, before we even go into Untouchables, I think let's just start with Cully because he was a massive part of Untouchables. He was a massive part of every artist on the label. When did you first meet Cully?
I met Cully along with Manj at an event. There used to be DJs first. And this is before there was, I think, maybe signed up with Untouchables or stuff. There were DJs who used to come out with, remixes or, they had their own kind of mixes. And they used to play at the same event. So for myself, we've been going since 1993. And we used to play at the Untouchable events. So we were quite regular on the big gigs.
I think that's something people forget. Before Untouchables became like a label in itself, it was an event company, right?
It was a very successful event company. Used to do maestros, they used to do all the northern kind of gigs. And they had it is very rare that their gig was empty. It was packed all the time. Coaches, unis from everywhere. It was a great era to be part of. And we released our debut album in '93, and as soon as we released that, we were on the Untouchable gigs. We were playing their events and up and down the country. And in later years, about 95, 96, maybe wrong, 97, something like that, Cully and either Serge or Manji used to start DJing for the Untouchables, and they were called the RDB, DJs and stuff like that. So they kind of started getting involved with Untouchables. Untouchables opened a label, and RDB they were working on their album at the time. I seen the talent in Manj and Cully. And I seen, wow, these boys are talented, right? So we used to mess about in the studio. So me and Manj became quite friendly. And it was actually Manj I started first. So we used to go studio, we just messed about, Baji, can you do blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, of course, we can do this, we can do that, yeah. So we'd singing some songs. But the actual song, where we started off was a song called Sony and Sony.
RDB Remix Sahara, access all area.
Manj says, Baj, come to the studio, let's work on something. So I said, right, listen, I've got this song and I want you to produce it. I know you're super clever with all these beats and all these. He said, right, okay. And trust me, and you can ask Manj, he said, Baj, but what do you do for the chords? I said, right, I'm going to tell you something here. I'm going to teach you the 3 most important chords in Bhangra. And till this day, he always says to me, Baj, I made about 40,000 songs from them 3 chords. He taught me, right? So, but anyway, so cut long story short, we released Sony and Sony, massive film. At the same time, RDB were working on their album, and they wanted me to do a song in that album. It was the RDB debut album, and the song was Shera Vargi Jaan, and it was good. I went to studio, Cully were there, Manj were there. We recorded the vocals, and from there, I would just kind of, that we started seeing more and more each other, and we're doing events and stuff like that.
I think, we spoke to Ahmed Saab, and he mentioned, about Cully's talent as a producer, and obviously talk about Manj as well, right? These boys knew how to make beats. They learned everything before they started putting stuff out there.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they even said that they ghost produced a lot of music for a lot of artists, even though it wasn't all credited. Do you think sometimes, the ghost production side doesn't really add value to just how much, obviously, Manj and Cully did? Because they did a lot. But let's just take Manj out of the equation for now.
Yeah. The thing was, Cully was like a computer genius, right? So he did all kinds of designs. When they had the RDB Bhangra TV.
Saying that, right? I actually saw the episode of you, and it was you and, was it Cully?
Yeah.
It was in your house.
Yeah, he came to my house.
Yeah, and he was playing on the keyboard. And literally they're like, yeah, this is live music, it's not computer generated.
Yeah.
But
he was such a jolly fellow as well. He was really happy, good, chappy as well. A lovely guy. But yeah, I mean, he was the brains behind it all. You know, like the RDB TV, he was very, very kind of out there. He used to think out the box. And so yeah, his production, he then knew exactly, you know, the beats, how to cut, how paste this, that, you know, the whole thing. And yeah, so for me, it was like going from a whole live kind of recording experience, going to like the modern kind of producers now. And their beats were somewhere else and they were more modern and stuff like that, but the songs were working.
Yeah.
Songs are working, smashing it out, and that's where Untouchables promotions become Untouchable Records. Yeah. And you got the urban flavors 45 and so that's where all the Untouchables albums but they were selling. They were selling, people were waiting for this track. Yeah. And they also, upstairs they had the shop, Untouchables music shop. So they had a big shop. Downstairs was the basement with a studio.
No, that's awesome. So like, obviously, look, let's talk about kind of the Untouchables kind of period itself. Now, this is the thing, like, and I think a lot of people forget this, is Sahara were around before Untouchables, right? Like you mentioned. Yeah. But a lot of people kind of got, that next generation got their exposure to Sahara when Sony and Sony came out, and then when Access, Lal Kagara.
Hey yo, undisputed Herbie Sahara equals MC. What? RDB, yo, let's go.
Basically, what happened was, like I said, I introduced, where Manj did the song, Sony, you know, produced the song, I sang it, and we recorded it, and blah, 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 it became a massive hit. Then they came out with their song, but then their genre of music. I think in Pakistan, what happened, because like I told, you know, we were, through piracy, a lot of things were trickling through to different countries, but you know, which were great for us, bad for the record companies. And what happened was, like, so in Pakistan, you would buy an album, you get an album, there was huge piracy going on, and it'd say RDB Volume 58. Okay. Jay Sean song, Raghav song, Jugiti song, Sahara song, Zone song, everybody's song. So RDB became a genre of music. Right? So nobody actually knew what the faces looked like, but RDB became like, all right, let's call this kind of garage music RDB. Yeah. So any band would come from England. So we had the trouble then, when we released Billoni Tera Lal Kagara, we would go to Pakistan and everybody would call us RDB. And we said, no, we're Sahara. We're not RDB. You know, we're Sahara. No, but I know, but you're Sahara RDB, innit? Yeah. Said, no, mate, it's two different bands. Sahara are Sahara. Yeah, but RDB sing Lal Kagara. I said, no, they don't sing Lal Kagara. Sahara, Billoni Tera Lal Kagara is written by Sahara, sung by Sahara, composed by Sahara, right? It was produced by Cully, who was working for Untouchables Music, right? So, only thing I think what happened in that confusion of song was Equals MC said RDB throughout the thing, and people got confused with the whole thing, thinking it was RDB.
That was it, because Equals MC said in there, in his rap, RDB.
RDB,
So straight away the association was RDB music. An RDB production.
Yeah. So this is where it all got very confusing around the world, and still to this day, there's people out there who think Billoni Tera Lal Kagara is an RDB track. Yeah. You know, so seriously, it's like kind of we've tried to kind of overcome it now, and you know, because Sahara UK have become a big name in themselves in Sahara, in Pakistan and countries like that. But yeah, initially we struggled.
But you mentioned, obviously, we'll talk about piracy in a second and all that kind of stuff. But piracy worked wonders for you guys. You know,
I've said it before, and I say, for us, for the local artists, nationally we was amazing, playing up and down here, this, that, you know, Birmingham, London, is amazing. But the real financial gain is traveling abroad, and where, you know, and then you see a different kind of aspect of artist appreciation. So when the albums come and the songs started trickling through, that's where we started coming to places like Kenya, Malaysia, Thailand, Pakistan, one of the biggest, and these kind of countries, you know, like, and I remember the first time we ever went abroad on a tour, we went to Kenya, and wow, the thing we got out there was amazing. The following and the love and respect we got out there. shops had big signs on, please do not ask for access all area by Sahara, it's sold out. Every shop we went to, Diamond Plaza, they all had signs. So we saw a different kind of, and that's where the bug for us come, you know what, let everybody do what they're doing, we're going to concentrate on different kind of music. And I think the RDB music, and I think they did the same. To be truthful, with Manj and Cully and Serge, they were big pioneers in India. They were doing all the India stuff, they were going on, and we went out in Pakistan. So, you know what, it was kind of a, we didn't want to really step on their toes, and they, you know, so they were doing their thing, and we were doing. When RDB started going out to Pakistan, Serge used to go out, and he used to take myself, Gubby, Manak-E, 3 of us for the singers, and even though we were different bands, you know, we always used to get tarnished as RDB, even though we were different bands, because Serge wasn't a singer then. He's recently become a singer or whatever, you know. But before he wouldn't, he was just a producer and DJ. So we used to go out. So we built this whole market. And Bill Only Tera Lal Ka Gra, Sony's only massive tracks out there. But, you know, the credit were going to the wrong people.
But, you know, do you think the brand RDB, because the brand RDB was huge.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think even the brand RDB eclipsed Untouchables? Because Untouchables is a record label. Suddenly RDB is popping off so big that people are kind of putting RDB there as a brand and Untouchables there. And suddenly everything's being put under the umbrella of RDB rather than Untouchables.
RDB had, I think, the 3 or 4 albums they had with Untouchables. But it was one of them 3 albums, it was all the Urban Flavors, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. Sounds of the North for their album, I think. But yeah, but just Urban Flavors, this, you know, all the. So it was a whole collaboration of artists featured on them albums, Urban Flavors, you know, Manak-E, this, that. Essentially, Cully's was overseeing the whole production thing. He was the ultimate brains behind the whole RDB brand and everything.
Look, Untouchables had a lot of artists under that label, right? So there was obviously yourselves, there was RDB, there was, you know, Gubby, there was G.I. Jatt, there was there were so many artists under there, right? And like you said, everything's being branded under, you know, the RDB banner. Yeah. Did that cause like a kind of disruption in? Because obviously the thing is, like, as a team gets bigger and more successful, etc., everybody wants their own name in lights, right? It's not a case. Like obviously the general public and the media might be like portraying it in a certain way, but do you think just the way the media was kind of jumping on that caused a disruption?
Just to tell you, we was the last band to sign up with Untouchables. So Undisputed was an album that was with Untouchables, but before that we were with Natural Records, we were Roma Records, Access All Areas came on Natural Records. So we never ever got kind of involved. But I believe that they had, because we're a band, we're a live singing band, right? So I've never claimed to be a producer. I've never claimed to be kind of a live musician or anything. I'm a singer. I can compose songs, I can write songs, I can make melodies all day long. So I need now the producer. So for me, Cully produces, Manj produces, they were the brains behind the whole outfit. They produce the tracks, no problem, blah, 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 we release it. Within them, the whole outfit of Untouchables, everybody was a producer, right? So like, if you had a certain DJ, so-and-so, now, even though his album was headed by Cully, he won't need the credit because he's supposed to be him producing. You get me? So I think that's what happened with a lot of egos, and people started getting a bit cheesed off and this and that. All right, you know. So for example, an album came out and it had a certain artist in it, and that's it. He thought, right, this is it. This is me. I made it. You know. Gubby's like me as well. He's a singer, so he wrote his songs. He writes his songs. Sings. An amazing guy. He's in the same position as we, just singers. So we need producers and DJs and stuff like that. So the initial whole thing, it was in the RD camp, was with all the DJs and the producers.
But you know, the roster got bigger and bigger and bigger.
You
know, do you think it was so hard to manage? Because like that, obviously the record label owner, obviously Tony, is at the very top. You know, do you think it was hard for him to manage, you know, so many artists? Because realistically, Untouchables was one of the first kind of labels in a long time. Of course, you had the bands, etc. But you was at that kind of period when the 2000s when artists from India were signing to UK labels, etc. But Untouchables was like just all UK artists.
Yeah.
UK artists,
Yeah.
well, except for the Manak-E,
You see,
who was born obviously in India.
the thing with Untouchable, they started a whole genre of music.
Yeah.
That British Asian Bhangra, and not just Punjabis will listen to it, everybody will listen to it. Right? So the people, you know, like people who don't even speak Punjabi will listen to it. So like the people of Gujarat, the Gujaratis, Bengalis, Pakistanis, Indians, everybody will listen to the music because it related to this kind of UK Asian kind of urban music.
Yeah, yeah.
And then other artists jumped on there, everybody started doing it, and there were a whole host of other artists. You know, there were the 2.9 crew and all that, Juggy and all in there. And so it kind of, you know, it was a great time and great era. Thing for me where it went wrong was when the DJs started becoming producers and bought vocals.
Yeah,
Because that killed the live scene in the UK. Because like, all right, so this DJ now has become a massive name, but he's just a DJ. He's not, you know, he's got his song by Lember or he's got Kaka and he's got all them.
Do you think that was more of a business move from these DJs? Because there's a case of...
It was a business, but it killed the live scene in England, in the UK. Killed the live scene because now people want to book that track that's massive. But okay, because the artist is in India, right? So the DJ is going to be there and he's going to, you know... Yeah. So it was one of them things that I think that's what killed the live scene in the UK.
But one thing I always wanted to ask, right, was, so you released one album, right, under Untouchables.
Yeah.
Like, was you signed to like multiple album releases? Because like, there's a point in labels where like, okay, I'm signing you for a 5-album deal. You got to give me 5 albums.
See,
was that ever like that? Because the reason I asked that is because once the album came out, you guys didn't release something for a very long time. Like, yes, the album was very successful.
Yeah.
Lal Gagara was success beyond. I'm guessing you didn't expect the success to be that long, right?
Yeah.
But like, was you signed to a 1-album deal, or was it just
what it was with Untouchables? Because we grew up with Tony. Yeah. We were not just like colleagues in music. We were also like friends from very, very early age. We were in both together, me, Cully Gerps and Tony, my brothers and Tony. We started off in a Bhangra band from Bradford, you know, junior Bhangra band. Yeah. That's how we all know each other. And I know his whole family, he knows my family and everything. So we knew that. And he would never make me sign a contract. He said, bro, Herbie, I just want this album. I want the song Lal Gagara. He'd heard it somewhere. He's a very clever businessman, that Tony. Yeah. He'd heard that song somewhere and he said, you know what, it's going to smash it. Let me have that album. He says, all right, no problem, you know. But then we had a bit of issue with trying to get out contracts and stuff. But then when I gave Tony the album, we did it like party kind of thing. Said, I need no contracts, no nothing. There you go.
And then obviously there was that kind of period when, you know, let's piracy mention. And you said piracy hit labels. But how bad did piracy hit Untouchables? Because there used to be shops on every corner in every Indian high street selling music CDs, and suddenly the shops are now disappearing.
Gone, yeah.
Like, how badly did piracy hit Untouchables? Like, was there a plan B, or was Untouchables just...
So Untouchables was, like I said, a promotions company before as well. So then there was a promotions company. And so the thing was, Tony, Untouchables, he's a very, very clever guy. He knew exactly the right time to come in and the right time to get out. Because he went piracy. Well, there were a time in the UK, you know, like, not just piracy, but at the same time, producers were using samples of Western music and just making songs on them. Paddy, aajo, studio charge, come studio, here's a beat, down, you know, like a white label, a cappella, and sing a song and make a song and releasing that, and people making money out of that.
Question, how did labels get around using like mainstream samples? That's what I always wondered. Like,
they did until I think one of them, an artist from the States used the Buppy Larry kind of, and it all kind of blew up then. But I think it was then. But up to then, we were just using everything. I mean,
people were making money off the
everybody, everybody were making money, and it was nothing. Nobody did things officially. I mean, even we didn't know. I didn't know what PRS was. I didn't know what publishing was. I didn't know all that. I found out afterwards. You know what I mean? There's people out there who are making money from songs I've released and sang, even till this day.
Okay, question about this, and this is a question I want to ask as well, is PRS.
Yeah.
Now, when did you realise that, you know, PRS is a thing? Like, was it something that you learned as an artist, or was it something that this industry never spoke about? Because you're not the only one.
Or was we thinking, all right, we're artists, forget that. So let's just carry on. And we didn't understand what PRS, but now, later on the years, you know, from Undisputed was the last album. what I gave. But after that, I've never ever given any of my songs. They're all, you know, done properly now. You know, PRS is bringing it. But like I said, from that previous album, Undisputed, there's still people making money. You've got no shame, you know, like PRS, geezer, give the people, you know, and you've kept quiet for so long and you're earning money off people. And, you know, for me, it's called chori.
No, it's what it is, man.
Yeah.
But then, obviously, when the label kind of came to an end, was everyone told, look, Untouchables is winding down? Or was it kind of like, you know, now do your own thing?
A lot of the artists who were on Untouchables didn't know what to do, because, like, obviously, there's no music coming out, but they weren't stage artists. Apart from, you know, the few, the singers, Gobi, Manak-E, they were still doing shows and stuff. But the main DJs and all that, they didn't know, oh, right, what do we do now? You know, Untouchable are going to stop releasing. We're not artists to perform, we're not entertainers. So hunky kari appa, you know, so that's where they struggled.
Everybody kind of went their own ways. So obviously me and Sharon, we've been trying to contact so many artists, but a lot of the artists said, yeah, we haven't spoken to him, we haven't seen him in so long, whatever. Obviously a lot of the artists, there was quite a few artists from the Bradford, Yorkshire area. There's a few from London, etc. But was it everybody then just went their separate ways?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody went their separate ways, yeah.
And how come like not every artist kind of like stayed in touch with each other? Was it just how
I think ended? Within the, I mean, me aside, I mean, I'm cool with everybody, you know, like, it's just that we're so busy, we just kind of, I'm cool with everybody. A lot of people have their differences, you know, egos started coming into it, money started coming into it, people started thinking that they were bigger than the whole brand, you know. So he started talking, you know, a lot of people started talking rubbish and stuff like that, you know. So that's what happened.
And like message boards, right?
Who, sorry?
Message boards.
Message
it's not like now.
Yeah, message boards. Never read them.
There was one infamous website.
Yeah.
Their message board was everything on there. Artists would create fake accounts and big their songs out.
Yeah.
Artists would create fake accounts and respond. And slander each other.
Well, look, come on.
Like, did that impact Untouchables? Because
no. 25 years ahead, we're still here, mate. You know, and we're still doing what you. So you know, them people that used to like sit and write stuff and Sahara this, Sahara that, get a life.
There were some harsh comments that people leave on there. Like some people would just some were like genuine like music fans, like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, you could kind of please music people. You can't please them. You can please them. You can't please them. You know, everyone has different tastes in music. Like, you know.
Yeah.
But then some people were just genuine, direct insults, etc.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did that, obviously the label was steaming forward, but did that have an effect on label artists?
It does. I mean, but to be truthful, we would never used to read them. And I remember talking to a few artists around in the Untouchable gang, we never used to read them because it depresses you in a sense. You know, like, because you can't literally reply as an artist. And, you know, you think, like, you keyboard warriors, you know what I mean? Why? You're so bored in life, and, you know? But it was, you know, for us, we just kind of ignored all that. And, you know, like, I mean, this is 20 years ago you're talking now, right? 20 years ago you're talking. And, we used to, back on mind, you know, what used to get us from criticism like that, it wasn't constructive criticism, it was just bitterness from other artists or people out there, you know, jealous of your success. And, so we just steamed ahead with another hit.
So we've reached out to as many artists as we can from the Untouchables camp. Some have replied, some have declined.
Right.
But if we were to bring everybody together for one last kind of like a reunion, you know, celebrate Untouchables, celebrate Kuli, would you turn up?
Absolutely, why not? If I'm in the country, I promise you, I'll give you my word, I will be there.
Yeah, we're going to try and make it happen. If it doesn't happen this year, we'll try and make it happen in 2023, but it would be nice to kind of bring everyone back together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Herbie, pleasure.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.